Well, this is a cozy place to gather. Jennifer and I have never been here before. Is the food good?
Sally and I come here a lot. We really like the food, and the service. It has a bit of a tuck and roll feel to the atmosphere, but that's because it's been open since the 60s.
I have to agree with my husband. Zach and I love this place.
Awesome. I haven't been here since I was a kid. My father loved to eat here. I think it was his favorite local restaurant too.
I've never been here before either. I am excited to try something new.
How's everyone doing this week?
I've been well. Sally was feeling a little ill the other day, but I think she's over it now. Right, hon?
Yes. I think it was just a cold virus that was trying to take hold, but decided to leave me alone and move on.
Well, that's a relief. We have all been okay. Joey's been busy reading the Free Church Report, as always, so I know he is excited to talk about Guideline 3.
No surprise there. I have been accused of having a one-track mind.
I can vouch for that. But I love you for your tenacity.
Joey, can you tell us what Guideline 3 says?
Sure, Jennifer. Guideline 3 reads, a minister of trust, of his church, is nominated by the represented members of the congregations, or assembly of the people, and appointed by a protector of the church.
I would add, that in the text of the guideline, the word congregations is footnoted, and the footnote, in my opinion, is very important to include in our study too.
That's right, Zach. I agree. It is a good footnote to study and understand.
Can either of you two walking encyclopedias recall what the footnote says about the word congregations?
Zach, can you remember? I am not sure I can remember the whole thing. I know it starts out, a congregation is a group acting in one accord. Can you remember the rest?
I think so. A congregation is a group acting in one accord. It is usually composed of groups of families, which may be served by one minister. The minister is a member of the church by appointment or anointing, the body of the clergy. Each family spokesman is its elder or their representative. 2 or more elders form a congregation. More than 24 elders may be too many, while 10 elders in assembly are generally thought to be ideal. Any gathering of congregations is also a congregation in assembly. The individual congregations should be linked in spirit, and in practical, and real ways, by the communion of their ministers in a congregation of ministers, within the church, with the help and service of bishops, ministers of ministers, and archbishops, which are ministers chosen by bishops to serve them.
Very nice, Zach. Well done.
Yes. Very impressive to be able to remember all of that, Zach. Nice job.
I love having 2 encyclopedias for friends. I just wish they worked with me at the office too. But I know both Joey and Zach get a little tired of my texting them with questions.
That's okay, Stephen. I love getting your texts. But before we get too far off topic, does anyone have questions about the congregation's footnote?
I do. The footnote mentioned bishops and archbishops. Who nominates and appoints a bishop or an archbishop, and what does the word bishop and archbishop mean?
Oh. Those are good questions, Sally.
Yes, they are. I was thinking the same thing.
So, which one of you 2 encyclopedias is going to answer Sally's questions?
Hey Zach, she's your wife. Maybe you ought to answer this one.
Okay, Joey. But you've got my back if I need a little help.
Sure, man. I think everyone around this table will have your back if you need some help.
Alright then. Here goes. A bishop is just a term applied to someone who has been elected minister by other ministers. So a bishop is a minister to ministers. A bishop is a minister. Bishop is the English version of the Greek word, episkopo, which means overseer. A bishop is a servant of ministers. Bishops are chosen by unanimous agreement of 2 or more ministers from amongst themselves, and appointed by another bishop before the witness of others, and then anointed to that office. The congregation of laity families does not have a determination in the choice of bishops. But in return, the bishops have no authority or direct obligation to the congregation of laity families. The bishop's obligation is to the ministers who have chosen him. The bishop's office of service and trust extends no further than to the ministers who have elected him. A bishop's authority is titular and his duty is to serve.
Zach, you are doing great. And what about an archbishop?
An archbishop is a minister. The word archbishop is Greek for chief overseer. Archbishops are chosen by unanimous agreement of 2 or more bishops, from amongst themselves, and appointed and anointed by another archbishop before the witness of others, and appointed to that office. The archbishop's office extends no further than to the bishops who have chosen him as their archbishop. His authority is titular and his duty is to serve. We have to remember we all need to choose our own minister to serve us. A family's elder chooses a minister. That minister then chooses a minister to serve him and his family. Bishops and archbishops, or overseers and chief overseers, are all ordained ministers under vows of poverty, chastity, obedience and faith to Christ and the Father. Overseers or bishops, and chief overseers or archbishops are all members of religious orders. Usually the archbishop for one order is actually a member of a different order.
Well done, honey.
Yes, sir. Very nice.
Nice job, Zach. I don't know how you and Joey can remember and recall all the stuff you read.
That's for sure, Jen. Very impressive.
Thank you, but did I answer my wife's questions?
Yes, you did a great job, honey. I now know that a bishop is a servant minister or overseer of ministers. He is chosen or elected by ministers, just like we elect our minister, and an archbishop is a minister who serves bishops and is elected or chosen by the bishops he serves. And I assume that the vote or election is done the same way, by offerings.
I believe you are correct about that, Sally. I don't know why it would be any different for any minister. Our vote is cast by who we entrust to handle our offerings to the Christ.
I would agree with you, Joey. What any of us gives to Christ we entrust to our minister, which is our vote, our acknowledgement, our license, for them to serve us as our minister. So it makes sense that all ministers are chosen, elected, acknowledged or licensed in the same way. We give to Christ and entrust the minister to use what is given for Christ's purposes, his kingdom and his servants, which the servant ministers use to feed the sheep, set the captives free, return every man to his family and to his possessions.
So are we all good with what a bishop and archbishop is, for now?
I think so.
I am, for now.
Me too. I'm good, for now.
I noticed in Guideline 3, that the word, protector, is used. That means a bishop, correct?
I would think so.
I would think so too.
Me too.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that overseer is the same as bishop, and if we read chief overseer, then that would mean archbishop.
That makes it a lot easier for me to understand.
I know I am getting very hungry. Shall we take a break to order and then pick up the discussion on Guideline 3 after we eat?
Now who's the genius? I second that brilliant idea because I'm starving.
Me too. Let's order. Hey garçon, can we get some menus over here please? Thanks.